Observing the breath. Turning our focus inward. And perhaps noticing if the body makes some subtle adjustments on its own. Stacking each of the vertebrae of the spine. So bring your awareness to the points of contact between the sit bones and the chair. Trace a line from both of the sit bones towards the base of the sacrum. Visualize the sacrum sitting as a keystone in this arch. Move to the first vertebrae. And then progressively walk your way up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Reaching the top of the thoracic spine. Bring your awareness to that lowest vertebrae of the cervical spine. And then walk your way up each of the cervical vertebrae until you reach the atlas, that point where the skull and the cervical vertebrae, or the cervical spine, meet. And notice a line running all the way down from the top of the skull, through the spine, forming a Y at the base of the sacrum, out to the sit bones. Feel the bones supporting the spine, or the bones in alignment, and the muscles maintaining that alignment with a minimum effort. Treating that alignment and the space that comes with that alignment. Begin to deepen the breath, filling the lungs with each inhale and emptying the lungs as completely as possible with each exhale. And though we may often concentrate on our inhale breath, bring the emphasis to the exhale breath. Drawing the belly back towards the spine, and at the end of your exhale, lift the belly slightly up towards the lowest ribs. Having established our deep breathing pattern, begin to even out the breath between our inhale and exhale breaths. Then lengthen the exhale breath slightly longer than your inhale breath. Take 5 complete rounds of the breath using your own silent count to lengthen the exhale breath. So 1, 'Take the arms down towards the side and just open and close the fingers. Shake the hands out. Just bring some circulation to the fingers. Flex the wrists. Now bring the hands out straight in front and bring one finger in at a time and make a fist. Open one finger at a time. And let's close again. Baby finger, ring finger. And open out. And again, flex and extend the wrists, either with a fist, fingers flexed. Interlace the fingers, stretch the hands out towards the camera, and lift the arms overhead. Release the arms down, grasp the thumb, and just pull and gently wiggle the finger, creating space in all of the joints of the hand and moving each of the joints to lubricate it, circulate the synovial fluid around it. Let's go to the opposite hand whenever you're finished. And take the arms down to the side again. Lift the arms overhead, fold forward over the legs, perhaps bringing the hands onto the blocks. And if your hands are onto the blocks, press into the blocks to draw the shoulder blades slightly in towards each other. So moving the sternum forward, pressing into the blocks, and using this to just build a little bit of strength to press down into the blocks. Inhale, come up, raise the arms overhead, and draw the hands back to heart center. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward onto the blocks and press into the blocks. Breathe here. And inhale, come up. Hands meet overhead and draw the hands back to heart center. Let's inhale the arms up again. Inhale, or interlace the fingers, release the pointer finger, stretch the fingertips up towards the ceiling, draw the shoulder blades in towards the spine, and exhale. Let's lean towards the right side. Remembering to press that left sit bone down as we lean right. Feel all the muscles between each one of the ribs stretching out. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, lean towards the left side. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, let's forward fold over the legs and press the hands into the blocks. Inhale, come up. Exhale the hands back to heart center. Take the left hand to the outside of the right thigh, and let's twist ourselves around towards the right, thinking of that central axis that runs all the way up the spine and evening out the twist all the way along the length of the spine. Inhale, lift the top of the head towards the ceiling. Exhale, come back through center. And let's twist now towards the opposite side. Inhale, come back through center. Place the hands on the thighs. Inhale, lift the sternum. And then exhale, round the back towards the back of the chair. Inhale up. Exhale back. Articulating the spine along the whole length, flexing and extending the spine. And on the next breath, return to that neutral spine. Wrap the fingers around the lowest ribs. Keep the sit bones equally weighted on both the left and the right, and just move the lowest ribs from side to side. Come back to center. Let's shift the body slightly toward the right side of your chair. That just I find this just gives you a bit more freedom of movement in that right leg. Stretch the right foot out. Point the toes towards the ceiling. Flex the toes in towards the shin. If you notice that knee is hyperextending, so if it's going past 180 degrees, bring this just a micro bend on something that almost nobody else looking at you would see, and press the heel into the floor. Reach around and see if the hamstrings are engaged. So the hamstring muscles should feel quite firm here. And also the kneecap should feel stabilized. Keep that pressure on the heel and open the leg out to the side. Bring it back to center. I find it helps a little bit to find that head of the hip bone and just notice that pivot point as we go out for 2 and back for 2, 3, 3. Keep that pressure on the heel. 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10. Try not to rush this. 10, 11, 11, and 12. And on 12, hold out to the side. Grab one of your blocks, place it on the left side. You can let that foot rotate towards the floor, stack the hips. Press into that block and lift the outside arm. And you might even see, let's see if we can do this, lift, think of lifting away from the chair. Or not. And come back down. As I said, I promised you some new moves today. Just let those hips sway from side to side. You can bring that block around to the opposite side to be ready to do this on side 2. I'm just going to move my chair a little bit to give me a little more room here. Shift now towards the left side of your chair. Press the heel in. Bring that slightest bend to the knee if you're hyperextending. Flex the toes in towards the shin. Press the mound of the big toe out. And again, reach around and see if those hamstring muscles are firm. And the kneecap is locked. And open out now to the opposite side. For 1, 2. Remembering to create resistance by dragging the foot back for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come back to center, draw that leg in, or actually keep it out for 12. Bring your hand onto the block on the opposite side. Let that foot roll forward. Press the hips can come to stack. And see if you can lift away from the chair. And come back onto the chair. And draw that leg in. Just let those hips sway from side to side. Interlace the fingers. And we're going to just keep preparing those hip flexors for some extra work today by drawing that knee in towards the chest, flexing and pointing the toes, and then creating a nice big circle with the hip, with the knee, sort of moving that hip through the full range of motion and then going in the opposite direction. Support the leg, or if you can hold the leg without supporting it, lift and lower the foot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we might even 9, 10, 11, and 12. Lower the legs, sway the knees. Go to your non-dominant interlace. Draw the left knee in, flex and point the toes. Maybe circle in one direction, circle in the opposite direction. And either support the leg or suspend the leg. And we can just hold the hands here, or maybe to a W or cactus. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And drop. Sway the hips from side to side. So we're going to continue to work on the hip flexor muscles. We're going to shift ourselves towards the right side of the chair. Take that right leg back. And let's begin by stretching out these muscles. So take the knee down below, directly below the hip. Curl the toes under, and let's lift the arm. Or first of all, roll that hip forward. Begin to feel that stretch there. Stretch the knee down towards the floor. Let's lift that outside arm. And maybe add a slight back bend and feel that stretch all the way down this right side of the body. You might just bring a block onto your chair. And so we're going to just lift up from the chair and come back down for 1. So the block can just give you a little extra height. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. So I think we'll just start with 6 of that one. We'll keep working on this because this is strengthening the hip flexors on one side and stretching them on the other. So see if we can work that leg back a little more too. And now let's stretch up everything on this side of the body. And I'm just going to try this. We'll just try this in a little different way. Maybe turn sideways on your chair. And instead of using the block, you can support yourself on the back of the chair. I'm still adapting this one to our chair yoga practice. So again, with that knee down, the hip rolling forward, let's lift and lower. We'll just do 3 of them here for 1, 2, and 3. Maybe you can even lift that outside arm. And bend both knees to bring us back onto the chair. Let's roll into, come back into center. And let those hips sway from side to side. Let's turn ourselves now the opposite direction on the chair and bring that knee underneath the hip. Roll the hip forward. And you might just allow yourself to just go through a couple of rolls here. Stretch that outside arm up, maybe come into a bit of a back bend, and really stretch out the muscles all the way down this side of the body. Lower the arm, and supporting it, using the back of the chair for a little extra support. Let's lift away from the chair and come back to the chair for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And come back to the chair. Come back to face forward and let the hips sway from side to side. So these are some new moves. So just do what you can. Visualize the move. Start to build the neural pathways that support these moves. And then maybe the next time we do them, you'll be able to do a couple of extra ones. Come back to center, and let's come up to standing. So we're going to come and grab a drink. Keep well hydrated during our work. Come to standing behind the chair, heels underneath the hips, and the hands maybe just slightly forward of the being under the shoulders. You can, if your wrists or hands, if it feels better to make a fist and support yourself with a fist on the chair, do so. And we're going to do some work, just create some motion in the shoulders. And I've heard this referred to as flossing the shoulders. So allow the shoulder blades to slide in towards the spine as you lower the sternum towards the chair, and then lift away from the chair. So we're just, most of the motion here is in the shoulder blades. They are coming in to almost to touch the spine and then slide off the back for 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Firm up the belly. 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. Continuing to support ourselves in a chair table pose. Let's take the back leg out behind us. You can come onto the top of the foot and either continue here or lift the leg up to vertical. Or I'm sorry, horizontal with the floor. Bring it down, tap the toe, and stretch out for 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Take the leg out towards the side and raise it to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Take it out behind again and draw it in toward the chest for 1. Stretch it out for 1. 2, keep the belly firm. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, and 6. Take the leg out to the side and just do some circles in both directions. Release the foot back onto the floor and alternately bend one leg, then the opposite leg. Firm up the belly. Stretch the other leg out to the side. Firm the belly and lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go out to the side, lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go back again. Lift that leg to parallel with the floor. Draw the knee in for 1 and stretch out for 1. Keep the belly firm. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, and 6. Bring both feet back to the floor and just let one knee bend and sway the hips from side to side. Let's step our left knee into so the shin comes to contact with the chair, and step the right foot all the way back. And use the chair to just stabilize you. Feel that stretch all the way down the front of the right leg. Perhaps you can bring your hand to the back of the chair. You might move from the back of the chair place the hands on the thigh. You might lift one arm or both arms and find a point to focus on and coming into runner's lunge. Drop the hands down towards the chair and straighten that forward leg, straighten the back leg. Draw the left hip back and fold the body in towards the chair. Step both feet back to meet and come to chair down dog. Now step the right foot in to meet the chair. And either stay with the hands on the chair, bring them up to the back of the chair, or lift one arm and lift both arms for balance. One more breath. Drop the hands to the chair. Straighten the front leg and fold in towards the chair. Step both feet back to meet to come to chair down dog and stretch out the spine. Bend the knees as much as you need. Let the back become nice and long, firm up the belly, and walk the feet in towards the chair. Come all the way up, our hands meet overhead, and draw the hands back to heart center. Let's now face the back of the chair. Find both our blocks. Place the blocks to make a foundation for for one foot. Stand with the chair side foot. Lift that outside foot away from the floor. I'll just let everybody get set up here. So we have chair side, we're supporting ourselves. We're on both blocks. And now let that hip sway in towards the chair and let the foot come down towards the floor. And lift away for 1, 2. So we're strengthening those muscles in the side of the glutes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, take that leg sort of out behind you. Feel that stretch down the front body and lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then just let that outside leg sway. And lower the foot to the floor. And just come off the blocks and shake things up. Switch our chair. to the opposite side. Stand the blocks now on the chair side. And lift that foot away from the floor and let the hips sway towards the chair to bring the foot to the floor. And then straighten the hips to lift up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now take that leg behind and lift the heel for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And let's step off the block. Just slide the blocks out of the way, and we'll finish our standing work with tree pose. Now, today, some of those muscles that hold us in tree may be a little bit fatigued from the work we've done. But let's try it out anyways. So press that chair side foot into the floor, open the outside leg to the side, either come to the ankle, the calf, or up onto the thigh. And bring the hands to heart center. Reach the branches of our tree up towards the sky. Draw the hands back to heart center. And just shake things out. Either turn around or move the chair. Press that chair side foot into the floor. So using all those muscles we've worked on so far in our practice. And you might just bend the knee. You might open the leg to the side. You might come onto the calf. Or on this side, I can usually come up onto the thigh and open up. Draw the hands back to heart center. Swing that outside leg. Come to center and just shake everything out. And let's come back to seated. Come back to our seated mountain pose. Just observe the effect of our practice. Observe the breath. Interlace the fingers. And let's draw that right knee in towards the body. Flex and point the toes. And then switch and draw the left knee in. And if you're willing to try something a little, you can even think about drawing both knees in or not. And come back. Take the knees slightly wider than hip distance. Let them sway from side to side. Wow. Let's find our blocks. Take the legs into a V. Sit towards the front of our chair. Inhale, stack the spine. Notice if the feet are pointing in the same direction as the hip bone, as the thigh bones. Inhale, bring the hands into the hip creases and fold forward. Let's bring the hands onto the blocks and just fold forward. Try and bring the head in line with the spine. Stretch the spine. Stretch the head forwards. Press the sit bones into the chair, lengthening the spine. Let's hold this for 5 deep breaths. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, come all the way up. Our hands meet overhead and draw the hands back to heart center. Let the knees sway in on each other. Take the knees towards the left side and twist gently towards your right. Inhale, come back to center. Let the knees go right and twist left. Inhale, come back to center. Walk the feet back together. Come for a moment to seated mountain pose. And now prepare yourself for final relaxation. Grab a drink, grab any extra clothing that you might need to stay comfortable during final relaxation. Move yourself. You can slide yourself back towards the back of the chair. And just observe. Close your eyes, do a quick scan of the body, observe the effect of today's practice. You may feel some particular sensations in all the muscles around the hips. We maybe move them in some different ways today. We challenge them. And now we can let them relax as completely as possible. Just allow each of those muscles in that, around the hips, the glutes, the psoas, the iliopsoas, . The muscles that flex and rotate the hips, allow them to relax. The glutes, the hamstrings, and the quads. Take a nice deep breath in and then sigh out your exhale through the mouth. Relax the control of the breath. Relax the control of the body. And allow the mind to relax, resting in the present. Foregoing the desire to look forward or revisit the past. Let the breath slow, the belly rise softly. And the external shape of the body to become fluid. Supporting the body. Now, slightly deepening the breath, moving the fingers, circling the ankles and the wrists. Slide yourself forward towards the front of the chair. Return to seated mountain pose. And let's rub the hands together. Create some friction and some heat in the palm of the hands. And then cup the hands over the eyes. Feel the heat from the palms of the hands gently warming the eyes. Bring the palms to rest on the heart. And again, feel the warmth from the hands warming the heart. Bring the hands together at heart center. Thank yourself for making time for the practice today. For being open to new things. Thank each other for sharing your practice. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through today's practice. Namaste.